prison. You must be unalived. You cannot be unalive, a creep, him, and then you deserve to give in years in a prison. You must be unalived. You set example. We set example. We set example to the to people who are doing the very same thing that you are doing. Once we catch you, there's no days for you. There is no life for you. There's no prison for you. You'll be unalived. And the second part, the police, guys. A policeman must not be handsome. Now, the policeman must be ugly and rough. When when the police is looking for you, you pee for your pants without seeing them. You understand? The policeman must not smell good. Must not be must be a hungry Nigerian policeman, a tall, hungry Nigerian with a dry skin. When those guys are looking for you, hey, you don't have a way to hide. Even when your family, they try to hide you, they will take you out. Group of people, they come for you, and we call them police. They don't drive cars. They are hard. They are hard and hungry, and they must not get too much money, the police. You will get the money when you did a good job. Once you catch a good criminal, that's when they will say, okay, this month, Nati, last month it was 5,000. This month you'll get 10,000 because you got Pablo. These guys, the police, are cruising nice. They stand in the street asking people money. No, a policeman must smell. When he's around you, he must smell in paper. This guy is looking for me. And once they get you, even when they enter the community, everything, DJ don't play the music or anything, we are scared of the police. The crime will stop. And police, the places that we go to drink and to do anything, they should not go there because we get used to them. We know there are scandals. You understand, big boy? Yeah. No man. We will judge you according to the crime that you committed. Imagine now I entered your house, big boy. I grape your wife. I unalive your children, and then I put you in the fridge, and then you survive. After 6 years, after 3 months, I'm on TV. They are talking about deal with you. We don't know you. We don't know where you come from. We want you to feel the pain. But unaliving a Nigeria in South Africa is like unaliving a bird. We understand. Or I'm hunting a rabbit. It doesn't feel good. I want to unalive you. You must feel it. You understand? Yeah. That's how crime is. But the police, they must be ugly and smelly.
Okay, thank you, Nati. Dread of Winter, you can submit on Instagram and in Believe.
On what?
Your hand has been raised. You've been
yes.
So it's your turn to submit.
No, thank you so much. My submission will be a bit boring and tedious, but please do bear with me. As an individual that has demonstrated a particular interest in politics and leadership, I have thought long and deep about the scourge of crime in our community and in our country, and I've come up with a memorandum of solutions, and I'll just paraphrase some of the solutions that I think will be fundamental to our fight against crime. I think first and foremost, we have to develop an efficient and competent system, and that entails making a strategic capital investment in technological advancements. That speaks to biometrics technology. I think if we can increase the cabinet portfolio of police department for biometrics technology, I think we can go. Also speaks to fingerprint records, DNA records, the keeping and the harvesting of all these data to create a synchronized system will be of paramount significance in as far as alleviating the scourge of crime in our community. And let me also highlight the fact that if we can also focus on police competency or police personnel competency, we provide our policemen with the relevant and up-to-date training programs, so that when they are on the field, when they're on the ground, they are able to execute their duties with efficiency and with simplicity. That is one of the things that we have to do. And then another thing would be to create crime deterrence. That would speak to ensuring that capital punishments are executed in crimes of great atrocity and gruesome crimes. For example, rape, pedophilia, and murder. These crimes should have a proportionate response from the legal framework of the country, that there should be a relevant response for these crimes. And then I think we should also classify and categorize crimes in their own respective cadres, so that a certain crime is apportioned with a particular response from the law. I think I'm of the opinion that individuals who unalive police officers should be given the capital punishment, the death sentence. Individuals who rape or sexually assault children, minors, should be given the capital punishment, the death penalty. You understand? That is an example of a proportionate response from the country's legal framework for particular crimes. That is one thing we should also do. Then I think that we should have programs of national programs of surveillance, where we make an investment into surveillance systems that are able to capture live activity. But this will require a lot of investment, and we know that our politicians are not willing to invest in these kind of facilities, because these kind of facilities are expensive and they are hard to establish. But I think that if we are committed as a country, and if we are committed as government, we can actualize these goals, and that we will be able to eradicate the scourge of crime in our communities. And if at least we are not able to eradicate crime, we can at least contain it. I think the concept of containment and management, in as far as alleviating crime is concerned, is a realistic goal. We can contain crime. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Sir Crowns, you haven't submitted. You can submit.
Eliminating crime. I think eliminating crime by removing some certain group from community, I think it isn't really realistic, because I would say crime is complex and systematic. Crime doesn't originate from a specific group of people. It's often result from mix of poverty, lack of opportunity, educational gaps, mental health issues, inequality, right? Systemic failures. So there are just several reasons why crime persists in a country, right? And I would actually say the government is actually responsible. I will keep saying it. Where crime persists for long, the government is actually responsible or aware of some of these crimes, right? They just choose not to do anything. And yeah, I agree with the solution Dread actually listed down, but I'm very certain the government are aware of this. And this actual plan you're talking about, the government are very much aware of it. They know what to do, right? They are not just doing it, right? If the goal is to reduce crime, I think some more effective ways, like investing in educational and youth programs, providing job opportunities, right? Addressing mental health and substance abuse, that could also reduce crime. building trust between community and reinforcing law, right? But like I will always say, the government are really, really very much aware of this. Like if you see the case of El Salvador, as we should use as case study, you are aware of most of the crime that do occur in El Salvador before. The crime was just crazy. There were gang violence, homicide, extortion, kidnapping, drug trafficking. Lists the kind of crime that is not happening in El Salvador. But when the current president came in, what happened? Crime reduced drastically, which the president really knew what he wanted to do. That's why I will always tell you the government is aware and they know what to do, but they are not just doing it because one way or the other they are benefiting from this, right? When the new president of El Salvador came in, there are several things he put in place to be able to address this issue, right? Which he created a state of emergency. That was March 2022. The government suspended constitutional rights to allow mass arrest for gang. So over 75,000 people have been arrested till date. Then mass incarceration, right? Where he actually built mega prisons. Terrorism confinement centers was built to house over 40,000 inmates. So military police operation, so they were joint operation where security forces, occupied gang control areas to reduce this drastically. Do you think the government is not aware of most of the areas that are being corrupted by these criminals? But they are not just doing anything. Have you asked yourself why? Then there should be harsh sentencing laws. There should be also community policing, like your vigilantes, but more registered one, not all those careless ones that do mob justice and the like. More civilized and collected community policing. So yeah, I just feel the government really are aware of most of this and they know what to do, but they are not just doing it. So putting the right people in the right places will really help solve crime. So yeah, I'll stop there.
May I please?
I'm surprised with the community policing, because usually you guys are always telling like South Africans, oh, don't take things into your own hands, yada yada yada. So
no, when you talk of community policing, these are registered vigilantes, right? Registered community, but not just anybody. So they don't just take, like I said, they don't take unnecessary law into their hands. They are able to get these criminals, hand them over to the police. Right.
May I please,
okay, no problem. Okay, I get you.
Draw your attention to something very quickly. Do you realize that the South African Police Service, as an institution that is specifically mandated with the mandate of combating crime, does not have a national capacity to, number one, profile biometrics data, the population's biometrics data, and they should have access to this kind of information. They should have access to this kind of data, but they don't even have a national server to profile.
These policemen,
true. I agree.
Number two,
that's true.
Number two, they don't have national laboratories that process information.
They arrest you, they say they don't even tell you right whatever you say or be against.
It's because they lack the proper training and skill set acumen. They don't have the relevant pedigree
what the fuck
to alleviate crime systematically. If you're going to alleviate crime, you have to do it systematically. You can't just wake up on a random day after having eaten cabbage and pap and then you're like, I want to go and fight crime. You can't do that. You have to.
And it's a fat nigga.
If you ask a random police person on a random day, just pick them randomly and ask them, what are the only times you are allowed to draw out your weapon and defend your life? They wouldn't be able to answer you. What they know is that they have to draw a firearm.
They don't even know, Ebra. They don't even know to read your right. And when we don't know that, in fact, You have a right to call your lawyer. In South Africa, we don't have that. They clap you.
Let's see. Are you speaking from experience?
And then when they catch you, they smelling fat cake.
And they're fat.
Imagine, their hands is full of fat.
And look, I am for gender equity and all that, but I think there are specific careers where we should not pay much attention to that. I think that in as far as combating crime is concerned, hire men. Just hire men. It's as simple as that. Hire men. And look, I'm talking about specifically physical combat, having direct and physical combat with criminals, because you're gonna have a criminal outpacing or outrunning a male criminal, outrunning or outpacing or outperforming in as far as physical combat is concerned.
Yeah, the question I want to ask: Do all these the police these days actually practice martial arts? They don't actually do any physical training.
They only do assembly, and then after assembly, they go to the street and
apparently they do, Sir Krantz. I think apparently they
unbearable. So that when someone comes inside there, he wouldn't want to go back. You understand? I would never wish for my enemy to go into Kirikiri or Kuje prison in Nigeria or any other maximum facility. I would never pray for my enemy. Because once you go there, bro, your life will never remain the same. You understand? So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Sorry, I just want to disagree with something that you said, something about the death penalty, because I mean there are many countries in Africa where they have the death penalty, like example Nigeria, but it's not like crime is 0%. So
that's true.
I mean, I want the death penalty for certain.
I never mentioned Nigeria as a safe or crime. I never said that, right? Did I?
No, you didn't.
So we're on the same page. So yeah. And I
agree with you. No, prisons need to be horrible, because at the end of the day, it's our tax money that's funding those prisons. So they must be it must not be comfortable for anyone.
Let me also add something.
Prison needs to be horrible. Prison is a correctional center. It doesn't need to be horrible.
Let me quickly.
It's a correctional center.
Let me quickly add something.
No, you don't know.
Here,
Believe there's no need for people to have cell phones in prisons and things like that. Yes, I agree. Maybe fine, have education and stuff and programs, but there's no need for now. You have cell phone, your weave, your eyelashes. What is that?
TV,
what is that?
What is that? You have makeup. You understand? Let me quickly say something before I allow Astrid. Astrid to speak. Let me quickly say something. In as much as you people, you see Qatar is fancy, UAE is fancy, Japan, the life is good, you understand, you go to IG, you see the beautiful scenery and everything. Bro, their prison over here is horrible. When I mean horrible, right? The prison over here where I'm based, it's underground. What do I mean by underground prison? It's the detention center is underground, and it has what do they call it? This industrial air conditioner, and they don't give you blankets, they don't give you pajamas, nothing. Underground. If you stay there for like 3 months, by the time you go back to your country, you won't last 6 months. I'm telling you, you will just die because all your lungs have been porous, and so that's if over here. If you try to go into prison here, bro, when you come out, you will change. You'll be a changed person, by fire, by force. I'm telling you, you won't see sunlight. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Yeah, Nati, how
exactly. Believe. How would you feel? How would you feel if someone raped? I'm sorry. Believe. How would you feel if someone raped? Maybe, I don't know, someone close in your family, your mother, I don't know, whatever. That person gets now goes to prison, and then you see the person on TikTok and eyelashes, and they living good. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, it's very bad.
They must feel the pain.
You can't call that a prison, my sister. That person is not in prison, my sister. That person is not in
These people know. Can I answer now the question?
And like Santa saying, like we need stricter laws, and on top of that, like the government should know, and police force, they should know to not be corrupt. So if that is taken care of on their end, it can be controlled. I like the fact that you pointed out El Salvador. The current president right now is fixing El Salvador, is making, it's working. So you just have to, give it up for them. I wish I could speak more, but yeah, go ahead.
The one thing I want to add is that these things of saying a youth commit crimes in your country because of unemployment, some of the thing, like let me say, it's a 50-50 thing. Some of them is choose it from good family, from good school. And
that's true. That's true, Landy. You're right. Because like sometimes we can't use poverty as an excuse. Guys, I get 350. I don't commit.